What is going on, guys? Welcome to Dead Walking Sunday, where it's actually Monday, because I missed it yesterday. We're talking, of course, The Walking Dead, and we're talking about the Same Boat episode. Now, in this episode, spoiler review, so you've been warned, spoiler review, and I gotta say, this episode was good, yet not so great, and some of the decisions these characters make. So we saw last episode that Carol and Maggie are captured. They're captured by this group who is led by Paula. It's her, this two other women, and I think her boyfriend at that one point. And we see them really negotiating with Rick's group, taking them to their hideout, and just trying to lay low until reinforcements come, because they are part of Negan. They are part of Negan's group. Now, here's the problem with this episode. Like, everything was really actually kind of... I did like the character Paula, but I felt like her acting was just okay. I felt like her acting could have been a lot better, but I really did like that character Paula. I really had a little soft spot for her. I really kind of was like, if she comes onto the group, I can welcome it. I welcome that with open arms. I did like, we've seen it a couple times with Carol, where she plays cat and mouse, where she plays innocence, but she really isn't. She's a total badass. And in this episode, once again, I did like somewhat of that facade, of that, acting like she's somebody else, but she really is a badass. But this time around, you could see in her face and expression and the way she talked that she's really starting to change. She's really starting to wonder, how far has she gone? And I didn't think she was ever going to wonder that. I wasn't going to think she was ever going to question or let somebody live and let them off the hook. But I think Morgan is starting to change her a little bit, or just she's changing herself. Now, in this episode, I believe Maggie is the baddest. She bad. She a bad bitch. I'm just saying. She is hands down just as strong as Carol, maybe even stronger than Carol at this point. But at the end of the episode, I did like how she's told Glenn, like, that's it, I can't do it anymore. But if she ever were to take on a leadership role, she would be. I think TV Maggie is fantastic in that role. I think leadership TV Maggie role, she could totally take it on, because not only is she strong, she's smart, and people respect her. People maybe don't, they wouldn't have thought that much about her, but she really is. She really is a badass, and she's showcased in this episode. I did like some of the interactions between some of the characters, like with Maggie and that one chick who gave a whole backstory on how basically, she wanted to name her son Frank, or Frankie, whatever. And it was pretty crazy how Carol just shoots her point blank right in the head, which I was like, damn. What I really liked about this episode, though, was the fact that Maggie and Carol didn't need Rick to come and save the day. They saved themselves. Carol using the cross. Carol, this was all about Carol's struggle and to find herself in this episode, or really finding herself at some point in this episode, where she was telling Paula, you shouldn't ran. What are you doing? Like, I this is what I was afraid of, to kill you. Because I think definitely Carol knew that Paula was her. And Paula knew at the end that, yeah, Carol, you were me. And it ended up being, Paula dying. And I liked the way I didn't really necessarily like the way Paula died. I thought it could have been executed. I thought some of the angles they used in the camera work could have been better. I thought the effects where she was getting her cheek mauled off by the zombie, I thought that could have been a lot better, honestly. Like I said, I thought Paula's acting could have been better, but for some reason I was kind of digging the character herself. Probably because she was just as strong, independent. She wasn't afraid to kill. Other things that I was like tripping out on was when Paula was running and shooting the gun at Carol and Maggie, who had zombies right behind them, and Paula missed every shot and knew that they probably didn't even have a gun. So that's one of them. Well, she knew Carol had a gun, but just missing them was just like, and not seeing like I said, the camera work. I think the camera work was a little bit poor this episode, because there's a lot of things that they could have showcased. They could have had, because that shot with Paula, the shot with Paula when she's shooting that gun, it's like, well, how far are you away from Carol and Maggie? Because you missed every fucking shot. So that's one of them. Overall, though, I thought this episode it got interesting with some of the character interactions. The Paula character, even though her acting I thought could have been better, she was actually a very interesting, not interesting, but it was a very I enjoyed watching her on screen. Maggie showcasing how badass she is, and then at the end how vulnerable she is when she's with Glenn, and really realizing that she can't be doing this anymore because her baby almost died in this episode. Carol really kind of breaking down her walls. Really thought she had her walls held up high, but they're breaking down little by little, and that's the fact is. She did kill that other girl, but she didn't kill Paula. She didn't want to kill Paula, but she ended up killing Paula as well, but she didn't want to do it. Rick coming in at the very end. Negan's gonna kick ass. Negan's gonna take out somebody out of here. Everybody's just wondering who. And we have somebody in mind, but I think it's gonna be that somebody else, if you know what I mean. So that's basically about it. Good episode. Felt like the writing could have been a little bit more stronger here and there. I did like the parallels between Carol and Paula. I did like Maggie become really showcasing that she is just as strong as the women on the team. Good episode. I thought it was a good episode. So yeah, it was an interesting episode. So thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like the video if you like it, and comment below. Love to hear you guys' thoughts on this episode. Until next time, till more Walking Dead. I'll see you guys later, and you guys have a good one. Bye.